I hope you all had a great lunch and we are ready to come back into the classroom and learn. So let me just go through what you, the students, are going to learn this afternoon. This afternoon, we're going to be able to identify sources of heat energy and examine how temperature changes when heat energy is transferred from one object to another. All right, that is our objective today. And we're going to do that through reading a particular book, answering some questions, and doing some word discovery. Now, today I've got this book. I would like to ask, does anyone know anything about energy? Where do we get our energy from? From our body, yep, great. Where else? From food, well done. Yes. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about energy and some physical components of it. As I said, we're going to look more about some heat energy, all right? Now, before we read this book, I would like to ask anyone from the classroom, can anyone tell me, from last term, we did a bit of book study. Are we going to read a fiction or a non-fiction book, do you think, today? A non-fiction. Why do we think it's a non-fiction book? There's no cartoon characters on the front, great. Yeah, the title energy kind of gives it away, doesn't it? It just says that we're going to be reading about energy. Well done. Down the bottom, it even has the word fact. So that is a little go fact. So that is maybe telling us it's going to be, it's going to have some facts in it. Now, do we think this might be a persuasive text or an informative text? Yeah, an informative text, because it kind of says that with the facts, doesn't it? That's what facts give us, some information. Now, if I flick through, just in case we weren't sure if this is a fiction or a non-fiction book, if we flick through, we might get some more hints. What do we find here? Can anyone tell me what this page is? The contents page, great. And these are our chapters, beautiful. And I'm still not sure, because I'm like, well, fiction books have chapters, so they don't usually have it laid out like this, but we can continue checking and we can have a look through, and we've got some subheadings. What do we find at the bottom of these pages? Yeah, the pages are numbered. And probably another thing we could tell, we've got lots of writing, but we've also got lots of what else kind of gives this away. We've got lots of real images. So it's not cartoon, is it? Lots of photographs, all right, which kind of tell us that this book is going to be a non-fiction book. So moving on with that, with our non-fiction, we're going to focus a little bit about thermal energy today. Does anyone know what thermal energy is? No, that's okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so some energy from our body. Yeah. So same with kind of what we said at the front, didn't we? Thermal energy. Well, we're going to read this chapter, and I'm going to ask you again to have a little look. I know you probably can't see it. I can put it up on the screen on the board, but can anyone tell me what they notice about this book? About this page, sorry. Yeah, it's got a big bold writing down here. You might not be able to read it from where you are, but it says geothermal, and we're going to learn a little bit about that. Does anyone know what that means? No, that's okay. And there's another thing I would like you to kind of have a look at. Yep, we mentioned it's got a title. Yeah, the first couple of sentences are slightly larger. So what do you think that might be telling us? Why do you think those first 3 lines are a little bit larger? What do you think that's doing? Excellent, great work. Information, so it's telling us what we might read. So it's kind of like our topic sentence, isn't it? Yeah, so let's read and let's see. Now, as we go through this book, we may come across words that we don't understand, and that's okay. What we'll do is when we come past a word that I think we might not understand, we're going to write it up on the whiteboard, and then we're going to do some word studies around some of these words as well. All right, let's get reading. Thermal energy moves between objects that have different temperatures. When thermal energy moves, it is called heat. We understand what heat means? Excellent, good. Do we know what it means to have a temperature? To be hot or cold, that's right. And we're going to learn a little bit later about how to use thermometers, which is the device that will measure temperature. All right, so we're going to have a little play around with that later on this week. Now, thermal energy always moves to something cooler. This is why you lose heat from your body on a cold day. So have we all been warm when we've gone into a classroom, we've stepped outside to go play and it's really cold, and then all of a sudden we start to lose our body warmth and we start to become cold as well. Have we all experienced that? Yeah, so this is exactly what thermal energy is happening, all right? And when thermal energy moves from a solid such as a spoon, it is called conduction. Do we know what conduction means? Nope, that's all right. We're going to write that word up and we're going to learn about that a little bit more later on. Let's keep reading. Thank you. That's my MP4, Diana Damasi.